I like LinkedIn. I use LinkedIn a lot. I think it's powerful to connect with people. I have sent a lot of, I think 1,000 of connections. But 2 weeks ago, on Wednesday, an amazing guy answered me, and it was boom, mind blowing from that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
I know. I think you have an idea because it's you, man. I mean, welcome to all. Welcome everybody. This kind of podcast, it's the most amazing things that could ever happen during the last days, last month of this quarantine. Because it seems like things are easing. We are coming back to life here in Vico near Naples, near Italy. Things are pretty fine. And I met Federico randomly with an amazing LinkedIn message. It was just, "Hey, I like you."
that was not a dating app.
No, it was not. Exactly. That's why the purpose was talking about LinkedIn, not dating app. I mean, so we met in this amazing way. For me, that I'm still speechless. Honestly, Federico, what do you think about? Was the best thing that happened to me? Yes or no? And in at least 2 months ago.
In 2 months. I hope it's gonna be the best thing that happened for you in at least in the last month. That's the best goal. And maybe 2020 that hasn't been a phenomenal year so far. I would say it was definitely enlightening to me. I got some pings on LinkedIn. I wouldn't claim I got like 1,000 of them, but I like it was so. I mean, enthusiasm. A lot of enthusiasm was so organic. I was like, who's this crazy guy? Man, let me get to understand him a little bit better. And that's how everything started, right?
Yeah, I think so. And then did you remember you were like, "Hey, but do you have a minute right now? Let's talk." And I was just like, whoa, because I don't know you guys, if someone of you just use LinkedIn, 99% of occasions are done. There's just no answers at all. And the 1% it's okay, fine, let's connect. Or with the thumb, the emoji with the thumb that is okay, I see you, okay, it's fine. But who cares? I mean, it was crazy. And the craziest thing is that you started listening to my podcast, Design Informale, in Italian.
I did. I think you should do your homework. I wouldn't use the word stalking, I wouldn't use the word investigating, but it's normal when you got interested by something. At least that's the first thing I do is let me get and understand a little bit more about this person. And I read your article, yes, a few of them, not all of them, because you wrote a bunch, and I was like, this is good. I listened to your podcast and I was like, okay, this is also very good. And I found this like level of empathy, and I was naturally drawn to say, let me get to know this person better. And you happened to pick me in a moment when I got some time, thanks to the time zone. That's how we jump on. It was 30-minute conversation. That's what it takes. Quality over quantity.
Exactly. That is so true. I mean, you start feeling that, okay, I'm working in the design field, but the biggest value I can have, it's not with design deliverables, it's with empathy. And in this thing, I just felt I found the kind of person that is completely over me for experience and for for all you have done. I'm just in a kind of junior mid-weight. I'm trying to figure it out what labels mean to have an experience with Apple and to have made stuff during my last year. Actually, I have to tell you that 1 year ago I finished the Apple Academy in Naples. It was 1 year and it was mind-blowing. And it finished with a new project nowadays, right now. So it's like destiny, the holy grail. I don't know how to call that. It's so
Let's do one thing. Let's start with
go.
We definitely talk about how we met. That's how we decided to start this whole conversation and this whole pilot. So pardon the
Yeah.
dust, as they say here in English. It's where this is gonna be a blog. A blog. It's not even gonna be a blog.
About.
I think it's gonna be
Could
a
be.
podcast, video podcast, whatever comes out of this one. We don't know yet. That this is gonna be a blob. Actually, that is what it's gonna be. A blob is this like unfinished, not refined. We don't know shape-shifting ideas that we had with Raffaele, and so pardon the dust. We're gonna be iterating and creating new stuff as we discover what we want to do. So don't ask us about definition. We want to create something that was funny, interesting, inspiring about design, what design means today, what it takes to be a designer.
Exactly.
So these will be some of the topics we like to cover during this conversation between us and with you guys, because we're trying to make this as interactive as we can. We're also experimenting with new tools, so we will see what we can do with video, messages, live. I mean, it's gonna take a while. I hope you guys get as excited as we got, but I would say, why don't we start with who we are? Why don't you start?
Why don't we start
who you are? Who are you?
Who I am. Well, actually, I am 24 years old, product designer, in his mission to find his path to a long happiness through design, through positive attitude, and to bring happiness in people's life while moving across Europe. I will be in Berlin next week, and I probably then go to London and Amsterdam to connect with people, to try to figure this out. What is design nowadays, and what is the role now for designers, especially post-COVID, and what kind of tasks we have to deal with. So I'm the junior perspective in this podcast. I mean, I have some experience, but I'm super open and to learn every single day. I message with Federico, who is more well known than me. You can introduce yourself, Federico.
Yeah, Federico here. I wouldn't use for you the word junior. I just use the word fresh.
No, not
you are the first fresh perspective on this one. What I bring in here, considering that I am 37-year old, so yeah, 30 years more. Yeah, I know. I look 40, but I'm not. No, I've been working for it's gonna be 13 years across consulting. Actually, in Microsoft, I've been doing a very interesting and shape-shifting career between consulting and now tech. I would like to call myself not a designer properly. I probably could call myself a digital strategist that loves to interact with designers and technologists. So yes, to the essence of designing thing, I do strategic design probably. I'm against labels, so I wouldn't call myself product manager or anything. It's so weird and so fluid, especially nowadays, and that's one of the very reason why we wanted to put that together. Because we do similar stuff, we do different stuff in different way. I expect us to challenge each other a little bit and challenge the work. So that's where you get the richness from.
From the unexpected value that we can add to a product that we still don't know. We are figuring it. We're figuring it out.
Yeah.
But it will be funny. Let's say that.
I touched upon on what I would like this blob. I think I like the idea of the blob. I don't know why. I just came to my mind of what this whole initiative will be. What in your mind is something that this blob, this design-ERS will be?
These designers will be a community where everyone can share what are their thoughts about design in a strategical way. As you said that you are a strategic designer, so design, but you are not supposed to be a strategic something. You're supposed to be a listener and give space to others to tell their story too. So it's kind of, let's figure this out all together with you guys. what are labels, that why we don't want to labelize ourselves. So we are going to tell you, explaining, telling you this story about our empathy in a modern society, with a great effort on people, human value, and I think that's it.
Oh, well, it's quite a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
I love
for our first episode, it's quite a lot.
I love you started with the concept of community and empathy, and that's one of the things that came out as soon as we start connecting. Like, we don't believe that we want to be professorial in any way. This is not what is not going to be. It's not like a design 101 or get to understand how to use this tool with Federico and Raffaele.
The best tips to get a job in design or whatever.
There is plenty of that. I mean, and we are not the most experts.
These keywords.
So that is definitely what you're not gonna find in here. What we like to think is that we will want to change the paradigm of like a podcast and want it to be as interactive as possible. That's why Raffaele immediately said community. He didn't even think that we are doing a podcast and he's talking about a community, but that's very true. I think that's the essence of what we're doing. We're trying to share our concept about creativity, about how we get stuff done. We want to get practical. We want to get like very aspirational at the same time. So this overall conversation is a couple of crazy Italian guys that will tell you the story of like what their lives have been, on how they approach new challenges, on how they get more creative. These are some of the topics that we have and we hope to cover with you. We would like to have you chime in into this conversation and tell us what you think about, right?
Yeah. May I spoil something on the interview stuff or not? Not.
There are no secrets.
It's not time right now. Okay.
No, you can spoiler, of course.
I can, really. It was just in that kind of way that I realized after like 2 days, the guests that were coming, that it's insane, guys, that even if you don't like us, you should come for the guests, kind of. But no, it's not that true. But I can empathize you at the same way that I don't care these two guys. I just want to see who's. Don't let me spoil, please, Federico.
We won't spoiler anything. So we're trying to gather really interesting people that we've been working with. That would like to join us on the show. Actually, and invitation is open to everyone that will listen to this. And if you are interested, I know this is just a pilot, so we will be building a little bit of the plan. It's literally like a POC for us. See how this first try comes out, and then we're gonna give you a little bit more of structure and plan in the coming weeks. But we already, you can rest assured that we have a plan, and we already have a bunch of categories and ideas that we like to cover. So that's what we're gonna reveal probably in the episode 1, because we want to start with that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, a lot of guests will be invited. We don't want to just make it like an interview format, but if you feel like there's something you like to discuss or any question you might have for us, we were more than happy to fit in the schedule. As I said 3 times already, this is a blob, so it's not set in stone by definition. That's the essence of design: iteration, change, adapt to change. And you mentioned in your podcast the other day, like, change is the most stable thing in life. I think it's a Bob Dylan quote. I love it too. Yeah, I think it's a Bob Dylan. We can double check, but I'm pretty sure Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Said that, and well, I believe that's pretty much a lot. But I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I'm super excited.
You know what I don't know if we're gonna share like the video feed of them recording, probably yes, but the funny part is one of the things that we want to probably go through at the very beginning of our first episode will be how we generated the podcast and what are the things we put together. So what goes in the creative process of setting up like something like a podcast. like what is the creative process for a new initiative, right? and we want to use this podcast as an example and how we work together with Figma and other tools. So that's a spoiler on the probably the first episode.
Great.
But
yes,
one of the most interesting thing is that we're not the yin and the yang, but we are so complementary in nature in how we think we approach life. That even right now, when I'm looking at the screen, Raffaele, I can see now I have longer and long beard. You got short hair. I got my white t-shirt, and you got the proper design black t-shirt. And I'm like, dude, this is we didn't make it on purpose. I swear. This is why it's gonna be fun.
No, I know. This is gonna yes, absolutely yes. Because nowadays it seems like you should have a guest in your podcast, so it's not good to just have one host. But I totally feel with you in a way that when I'm seeing you, when we talk about that, when we discussed about the podcast idea and all the creative part that you were mentioning, I was like, damn, this is what I would love to arrive in 10 years from now. And it's insane because you feel this kind of the same vibe to me, and I'm so proud of that, and it's the yin yang something. I don't know.
we don't know that. It's just fun. No. I think we've been clicking, and it's gonna be interesting. So what I'd like to say is, for everyone that might be following us, we decided to do that in English for a number of reasons. The first one not being that, I'm based out of United States here. I live in California, in Silicon Valley, San Jose. And Raffaele is in Italy, but he's been traveling, as he said, in Berlin, and he has his whole plan conquering. He's going to conquer soon. But the idea is we want to practice. We want to get better. Doing a video podcast is something that is challenging, but we love to challenge ourselves. Raffaele writes really well in English and he wants to practice even with his speaking, I guess. So this is all transparency stuff that comes to my mind that we want to share with you. And that's going to be the same modus operandi of the blog, of the blob. Right, so if there's anything that you like to ask, again, please let us know.
Do that, and absolutely.
If you have feedback about how quick we talk, if it's not intelligible, for example, please let us know. We can slow down. We can try. We'll do as much as we can to possibly deliver the message to you guys.
And the content, right? And it's all about pushing your limits forward. That's it. That's it for us. For me, for Federico, and hopefully even for you, if you want to join us. It's understanding that this could be a great thing. Cool. But yeah. Oh, all right, cool.
You were not expecting that. I knew that.
So you are testing with audio, so cool.
I wanted to applaud your challenging vision. I loved it.
Yeah, me too with you. I think we're done.
I believe we're done. I think we can at this point wrap up. As we said, we mentioned
no wrap up. I like the term wrap up.
The wrap up, the
wrap up.
So if we want to wrap up, I said we touched a little bit about how we met, who we are, why are we doing this, and what we think this blob is going to be and what it's not going to be. That's a pilot, so be harsh, have fun. I can imagine a lot of our Italian friends to have fun watching this video and give us some trash talking, but we appreciate that. We're looking forward to it. So
we are ready for that. For that.
And I think we're going to release episode 1 hopefully next week if everything
we'll be in Berlin. Probably will be more, the weather will be better because now it's same here. It's too hot. I don't know in San Jose.
It's good. It's a good California weather.
California weather. Okay, got it.
Okay.
You will tell me when I will come there.
You'll see. Well, that's everything from here, from Fede and Raffaele. I would say see you next time, and ciao ciao.
See you next time, guys. Ciao ciao ciao. I like it. Ciao, ciao. I like it. Awesome. Ciao, ciao.